Hi, this is Randy from Randmock Guitars, and welcome to the final episode of the Great Guitar Build-Off of 2022. So in this episode, we're going to get a look at the finished product, and we're going to get some sound samples and see what she sounds like. But as I understand it, we're supposed to do a review. So why don't you take a stroll with me down memory lane, and we can see how we ended up here. So it all started innocently enough. I mean, look at me back then. I was so young, so pure, little lamb. And just a vision, a plan, and some beautiful woods. And I remember how excited I was. And so I got immediately to work. So this was the heyday at this point. It was a different era, a different time, a different place. Well, maybe not place, but you know what I mean. And the most memorable moment for me at this time was the first time I got to cut out the body shape, or getting her out of her dress, as I like to call it. And I was so excited to see it. Even the boss was happy. Then came what was by far the most challenging part, which was the neck. The design that I was choosing wasn't something I had built before, and coming off of two previous, lackluster necks that I had made, I was really anxious going in here, and so I just basically stuck to the plan as best as I could and hoped for the best. And there was a few times where I thought, this is not going to work. And we weathered that storm and we broke the curse. And so then came the dog days of summer, and basically we just stuck to the work, putting one leg in front of the other until you get to where you're going. And the finish line was definitely in sight. So it was exciting to see the first time I got to see the body shape carved, and the mock-up at the end of that episode. No words to describe how excited I was to see the finished product. And then it all came crashing down. Man plans, God laughs. And he must have been laughing his ass off, because that was an abject failure. And and he must have been, because the very story that I was trying to tell about getting back up when you've fallen is exactly the story that I needed. And so that brings us to where we are now. And it's been a much slower pace, which I've enjoyed. So I took my sweet time and did a really great fret job on this and fret dressing, and I polished them to the point where they shine like diamonds. So it was just a matter of giving the guitar a quick polish and assembling it and putting in the electronics. I didn't record too much here, I think mainly because I was just into the work and just wanted to enjoy it and putting it together, and I couldn't be bothered setting up the camera. But anyway, it's all done. So without further delay, here is my submission for the Great Guitar Build-Off of 2022. Enjoy. I don't know about you, but I'm going to need a cigarette after that. Figured I'd give you guys a little overview of how she turned out. The neck is probably, of all the things I've ever made, one of my favorites. And I think it's really more about the combination between these two types of wood. The burl and the wenge are just, I mean, they're like made for each other. And somewhere between an Ibanez and Fender, it's thin but not too thin. It's just, I don't know, it feels just right to me. The headstock came out really nice. This is definitely the style I'm going with going forward. I couldn't be happier with the neck, and it was the one thing I came into this with the most amount of anxiety for. As for the body, I would say it's about 99% of the way there. There's a few tweaks that I want to make to it, just a little bit to the top horn, a little bit on the shape in the lower horn. But I think it's just the angle of everything that kind of sort of threw my eye off when I was kind of sort of designing it. Otherwise, it's coming in at about 7 pounds, maybe slightly over 7 pounds. Really, really nice weight. And it just fits like a glove. It really slides up to you. It's a super comfortable guitar, very well balanced. Now, I haven't done a final setup or anything yet. The truth is that this finish needs some more time to cure. So what I'm going to do is give it another week or two, and then take this whole thing apart. And then when I'm done with that, I'll come back and I'll do the final setup. But you know, the nut height is kind of sort of roughed in. The string action is roughed in. And so is the intonation, and yet I can't stop playing it. So in case you guys don't remember, when I was first designing this guitar, the switch was going to be in here, a 3-way toggle switch. When I decided to kind of sort of let that go for this build so far, I decided to go with a 5-way super switch. So the way it works is this is the bridge, this is the south coil tapped, this is both pickups together, this is the north coil and the P90, and the neck is just the P90 by itself. So let's go to the studio, and I recorded some sound samples for you guys, and you can check out what she sounds like. So before I go, I wanted to give you guys an update on this channel. When I first started this channel, I had no intentions of becoming a YouTuber. I just wanted to put up some demos of my guitars. What surprised me is just how much I've enjoyed this entire process and how much I enjoy making videos. One of the things I've learned is if you find something you enjoy, do it and do it often. So I've decided to expand my vision of this channel. There will be demos, but what I'm hoping is to get a lot of musicians on here, some interviews. I have some really cool out there ideas, and maybe expand the conversation that we have around guitars. I hope you decide to come along for the ride. But if this is where we part ways, I want to say thank you for checking out the videos, for the subscribes, for the likes, and for the views. I really appreciate it. To my friends and family, thank you so much. Shout out to Andy and Fifi. There's no way I could do this without your support. And to the people at the Great Guitar Build-Off and Ben Crow. You've created something really, really cool here. Thank you. It was so much fun. Anyway, I guess I'll see you guys next year at the Great Guitar Build-Off of 2023. Till then, peace out.